Friends, get ready for an amazing royal report that combines pristine Danish nature with the elegant sparkle of courtly receptions. It turns out that an ordinary Thursday can encompass a walk along a green forest trail, a lavish farewell ceremony, and even unexpected visits that can stir up the entire public. Let's start with Her Royal Majesty, Queen Mary, who managed to find time for a stroll through Lerber Forest with representatives of the dense Danske Naturfond in the middle of a February day. Just imagine, at 1 p.m., she was still admiring the naturalistic beauty and breathing in fresh air under the shade of tall trees, dressed in a warm and comfortable hiking outfit, and by 3 p.m., she had to rush to Amalienborg, where a pardon reception was taking place in honor of Lenee Balabe, a person who held the position of head of communications at the Danish royal court. For 17 years. Sounds grandiose, doesn't it? Of course, to make it from the forest to the official event on time, Mary performed a true fashion miracle by changing outfits in just a few minutes. Everyone knows that such receptions require a much more elegant attire than a cloak and boots for a muddy trail. Therefore, it is no surprise that at the appointed hour, the Queen appeared in all her splendor. She wore a pink silk blouse and wide gray trousers in a strict habit style, perfectly matching her impeccable taste. At the same time, many noticed the ease with which Mary carried herself and interacted with the guests. Despite a busy schedule and a tiring forest walk, a smile never left her face. But let's move on to the main honoree of the celebration, Lenee Balabe. This amazing woman worked at the royal household since 2008, and over all 17 years, she became an indispensable link between the royal family and the wider public. She ensured prompt interaction with the press, organized interviews, handled complex informational situations, and did everything possible to keep the royal family as an example of calmness and stability in the eyes of the Danes. Now the time has come to say goodbye, and to properly thank her for her many years of service. Not only press representatives or close friends gathered, but the entire royal family as well. The party, or rather the solemn reception, ceremonio, was held in one of the famous pavilions of Amalienborg. A great number of guests gathered. Some came to pay tribute to Lenee for her work, while others stopped by simply to seize the opportunity to shake hands with such a significant figure and wish her luck in her new projects. Of course, several family members were immediately noticeable. King Frederick and Queen Mary themselves appeared in high spirits. They went straight to greet the honoree, and with the warmth of their embraces, it was as if they said, "Lenee, we will not forget you." Fans also noted how many shared memories bind the trio, 17 long years, which is practically the entire marital history of Frederick and Mary as a royal couple. Another special guest was Princess Benedicte, Queen Margrethe's sister. Shining with a smile, she gracefully entered the hall, where she was immediately greeted by Lenee. Apparently they share long professional ties, as Benedicte often participates in official events that require coordination with the press office. A brief conversation ensued between the two ladies before Princess Benedicte allowed Lenee to meet the rest of the guests, and there were quite a few. Perhaps the most pleasant thing about such gatherings is the sense of unity within the royal team, where everyone supports each other, even in such a farewell moment. But who would have thought that the surprises didn't end there? At one point, a couple arrived at Amalienborg that immediately attracted a lot of attention. This was Nicolaj, also known as the son of Queen Anne-Marie, and his fiancée, Chrissy. They recently surprised everyone with their engagement announcement, and now they appeared in front of camera lenses, suddenly and without warning. Of course, some guests thought they had also come to the reception in honor of Lenee Balabe, but it soon became clear that their arrival at Amalienborg Square was merely a coincidence. The young couple was simply in Copenhagen on a private visit, and their visit to the royal residence was likely related to personal plans. Nevertheless, a small commotion arose. especially among journalists, who immediately rushed to confirm whether the newlyweds were planning to join the celebration. As it turned out, they were not. This was a separate story. Let us remind you that Nicolas and Chrissy's relationship is developing rapidly. They are planning a grand wedding on February 7, and the ceremony is to take place at the Church of St. Nicholas Ragavas in Athens. For many royal observers, this became pleasant news, as Greek royal figures, despite losing the throne in Greece, continued to maintain close ties with relatives and friends across Europe. And now that they are in Denmark, there is a possibility that, after receptions and lovely family meetings, they will have to return to Greece to finalize the last preparations for such an important event. Another notable couple who graced the evening were Prince Gustav and his wife Princess Carina. They arrived from Germany in excellent spirits and managed to exchange a few words with Balabe right at the entrance. Considering that Gustav is the nephew of Queen Margrethe II, his mother is Princess Benedicte, he is also part of the close circle of royal relatives, so Gustav and Carina's appearance at the reception was not unexpected. It was also pleasant to see how sincerely they shared the atmosphere of friendship and gratitude that prevailed within the palace walls. What's next? Now that Balabe is leaving, everyone is curious about who will take on this important and responsible position. The answer is already known. As of February 1, the new head of communications at the royal court will be Nina Monk-Perrin, a journalist and former host at DR. This appointment is a good reason to once again showcase the openness and readiness of the Danish royal house for updates. The new head will soon take over all tasks related to informing citizens about the royal family's life, planning press conferences, and coordinating official statements. Let's hope that Nina will worthily continue Lene's work and maintain the high level of trust in the Danish court. Thus, the day that began with cool forest trails and the Queen's outfit change turned into a large-scale reception within the walls of Amalienborg, where friendly embraces and kind words of gratitude intertwined. Frederick and Mary, who arrived practically on the run, managed not only to honor Lenee Balabe's achievements, but also to warmly interact with each guest. Princess Benedicta and her family, including Gustav and Carina, added their touch of coziness, emphasizing the familial nature of the event. All of this seems as if it were specially created to remind us once again how dynamic life within the royal court is, how quickly outfits, events, and even faces can change there. But there is a special charm in this. Even official protocol events retain an atmosphere of warmth and ease.